Hello, Randy. Appreciate you coming over. Are you really known as the captain of Catchemall?
In this area, I certainly am.
Right.
It feels great to walk into the local Walmart or different store and everything. No plug for anyone. But, I'll hear, hey, this is Captain Catchemall.
Right. What I'd like to do is introduce Randy to you and tell a little bit about what his invention is and why it's such a benefit to you as a fisherman. We're going to introduce you to the Captain Catchemall bait cup. And what we found is this, is that there's a lot of talk about the types of bait, there's a lot of talk about the type of rigging, a lot of talk about different methods of fishing. The one thing that I found that I don't hear much about at all is the delivery system of the way to get the bait to where the fish are. And Randy, in his ingenuity, he's found a way to do this. Now, to be honest with you, Randy's been fishing in tournaments quite a bit and won quite a few tournaments. But he and I have been talking, and we've kind of convinced him to share this idea, and that's what we're here to do today, is to talk a little bit about the bait cup, why it's good for you, why it'll help you catch more fish, bigger fish, and in a safe way. And Randy, why don't you take a minute and just show what it is and show how it works and let the people decide. Is that fair enough?
Very good. Thank you, Sam.
Okay, right. I'm going to back off.
Folks, this is the Captain Catchemall Baitkeeper cup. When you receive one, it'll have detailed instructions on the inside on the proper way to rig. With this particular rigging, you can present your bait directly to the fish at any depth from top to bottom and be assured that you have your bait on your hook. Everything from minnows to slimy chicken livers, pack bait, cut bait, you name it, this bait cup will help you get your bait to the fish. Step 1. You'll receive a small bead. What this bead, the purpose of it is if you want to fish your bait somewhere other than directly on the bottom. You put your bead on your line first. Then on the cup itself, you'll see a grommet. You will want to thread your line from the outside in to the cup like so. At that point, you want to go on and put a barrel or a slip sinker, a 1/8 if you're fishing on top, 1/8 down, to a 1/4 if you want to fish on the bottom. You then apply your slip sinker like so. Now, you tie on your hook. Once the hook is properly tied, you will then add a split shot approximately 3 to 6 inches from the hook. Apply it directly onto your line. Some of my friends opt to use a barrel swivel, which is fine. What this shot does is it keeps the cup from going all the way down to your hook. Now you're ready, at this point, you're ready to fish on bottom. You put your bait on your hook, set everything into the cup, cast it as hard and as far as you want. You can cast more accurately with this because you don't have that hesitation of throwing the minnow off, throwing your bait off. It's also a great safety device because especially with children around, this hook is not exposed during the cast. I would much rather be hit with this plastic cup than have to dig a hook out of my ear or the back side of my head, and it does happen, folks. But with this, it's just another little great feature of the Captain Catchemall Baitkeeper cup. At this point, when you cast, the centrifugal force keeps everything in the cup. When the cup hits the top of the water, there's a flotation inside, sets up like this, and it allows your bait to go all the way to the bottom. And if you're strapping fishing, catfishing, bass, sauger, I mean, it's endless is the amount, the type of fish you catch with this. If you want to fish your bait on top, you simply put a rubber band at whatever depth that you would like to fish. If I'm fishing for crappie and I want to go 4 feet deep, I'll set a small bead stop, and this will go down to the at the 4 foot mark. It'll go down to 4 foot. With brim, if you want to fish it a little higher to the top, what this does is when you cast, the bait hits the cup hits the water, your bait comes out and it stops at that point. So you're at whatever depth. Now when the fish bites with this cup stays on top of the water. At that part. Now with the bobber stop in place, you can see it stops. Your bait will be at whatever depth that you'd like. When the fish hit, this acts just like a regular float. Unlike a regular float, when you jerk on the Captain Catchemall, all the force goes straight to the hook. You're not pulling the float along with your jerking to set the hook.